To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
But how could that be true? How could this land be yours if you don't know all of its secrets and history? Come join us on the path to making this land yours. After all, that's what Disneyland 3-in-1 is all about. We tell you more than 3 true facts about an attraction, and then we take a ride on it. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. Welcome to your Disneyland 3-in-1. In this episode, we embark on a full circle tour around the rivers of America aboard the Mark Twain. Everyone knows the ship was an opening day attraction, but here are some things you might not know.
As steam was beginning to be replaced with more cost-effective means of transportation, it seemed that the paddle wheeler had reached the end of its journey through history. That was until a man by the name of Walt Disney commissioned a 5/8 scale steamboat for his park in Anaheim, California. This would be the first steamboat built in the United States in over 50 years.
Bowman, cast off bow line. Engine room, ahead 1/4. Engine room, ahead 3/4. Leadsman, sound off.
By the mark. Mark 1.
That's the leadsman calling out the depth markings so we can avoid running aground.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain is not just the name of a riverboat or a great American author. It also means the water here is 2 fathoms deep. That means it's safe enough for us to proceed on our steam-powered journey along the rivers of America. On our trip, we'll visit the magnificent Columbia of the Great Northwest, the graceful Missouri of the windswept plains, and the rugged Rio Grande along the border of Texas and Mexico. I'll be sure to point out interesting sights along the way and even tell you about a legend or two. New Orleans is rich in history, music, good food, and ghost stories. One of those stories involves the old mansion you see over there on the hill. I've heard it said that the place is haunted, filled with 999 ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. And they're looking for one more to make it an even 1,000.
Now, the Mark Twain was built like riverboats of the past. The decks were assembled at the Disney Studios, and the hull was built at Todd Shipyard in Los Angeles, California. Now, let's check in with some of the other passengers as we take a journey down this river that time seemed to forget.
Thank you so very much. You are just sweet as apple pie. Wait, what do you have on there? Is that Ariel? Is it your birthday? Oh my goodness, we have so much to celebrate. You see the water too? You want to see Kitty Mickey? Look right there.
The most famous landmark in this area is Splash Mountain, named for the fact that everyone seems to have a splashing good time when they visit.
Joe Fowler created a dry dock for the ship alongside the rivers of America. Walt Disney disliked the amount of space the dock occupied and started referring to it as Joe's Ditch. It would would later be named Fowler's Harbor and is still called that to this day. Thankfully, Joe had the foresight to build his ditch because they use it nightly to set the Columbia for Phantasm.
This is the day you will always remember as the day you almost hooked Captain Speller.
As you all know, the rivers didn't hold water the first time they were filled. So Fowler, being the quick-thinking man that he was, he lined the bottoms with clay, and the park was saved.
You want to look on the inside? Come on, baby girl.
Now, Disney remained a strong supporter of the riverboat, even when corporate funding fell through. He financed its construction from his own pocket. Thankfully so, because he used the ship to celebrate his 30th wedding anniversary just 4 short days before the opening of Disneyland.
We're now heading back into civilization along the Rio Grande. Off in the distance are the towering buttes of Big Thunder Mountain. Rumor has it that the railroad built to haul gold out of the mountain has been seized by supernatural forces, and they've turned the mining trains into the wildest ride in the wilderness. Of course, that may be just another legend of the river.
And now for some fun at the Penny Arcade. As a part of Disneyland 3-in-1, we have decided to show a vintage Nickelodeon from the Penny Arcade in every episode. This one is starring Charlie Chaplin, and there are so many other funny stories that only cost a penny to view. As time goes by and replacement parts begin to become harder to manufacture and find, these vintage Nickelodeons are starting to disappear from the park. So make sure you make your way into the Penny Arcade on your next stop to Disneyland, California. Hey, check it out. I got the genie from Aladdin. Whoop-it-doo, I wanna be like you.
Wrong everything, as usual.